Amazon seller signups have hit a record low in 2025 with just 165 new sellers signing up. So what does this mean for established sellers like you trying to scale? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? So this is the lowest annual total since they started collecting data in 2015 and down 44% from 2024. And this is due to a variety of reasons, right? Like the tariffs, obviously cost of inflation is much higher, gas is much higher, people can't invest as much. China, manufacturing isn't as cheap anymore, right? But what does this mean for those actively trying to scale on the platform? In my opinion, this is a huge opportunity for established sellers on Amazon because the barrier to entry has never been higher. So in this video, I'm going to go over why this is a perfect opportunity for those brands on Amazon looking to scale and what is needed to actually scale in 2026 and beyond. What is the number one thing that Warren Buffett said? Be greedy when others are fearful. So most people are reading this wrong. Amazon obviously is getting harder, right? FBA fees are up, PPC bids are expensive, obviously, right? So most sellers are like, this is way too expensive. Let me focus on my Shopify. Let me run more email marketing, meta ads, whatever, right? But when people are hesitating and are fear because of the market situation, that's when there's a window for those sellers who are looking to scale right now, okay? And because if it's more difficult, there's no newcomers, you're not gonna have as much competition. It's just how can you beat out your current competition, right? So it's reduce competition for your share of growing the pie right now. Now, why this is a perfect opportunity is because seller signups are down, but the demand for Amazon has never been higher. Every single year, the amount of people buying stuff on Amazon keeps growing. It keeps growing every year. There hasn't been a single year really where Amazon has taken a hit. Like, especially during COVID and stuff, it took a bigger increase, right? So it's always going to increase, but the competition is beginning to filter out, which is a good thing, right? There's higher barriers to entry, but it's more demand than ever. And there's a gap, right? There's a demand where you want to win in the space right now. So this is perfect for a brand that's doing already over 30K a month, 50K a month on Amazon, who has good reviews, solid listings, right? Good conversion rate. You're already running lots of PPC campaigns. You know the gist of ranking high on keywords, getting to page 1 for this keyword, keeping your ACoS below this level of TACoS, right? You already understand Amazon. The next thing is just what can we do to double down to take more of a market share in this time and age? The good thing is you've already done the hard part, right? Most sellers are so focused on what's ahead that they underestimate the competitive advantage they've already built. Like I said, optimized listings, you have reviews, social proofs, you already have operational infrastructure for how you're going to send inventory to FBA, right? You have a good understanding of stuff. But you're probably at a stage where like you have competitors who are doing more than you and they're ranking higher on keywords. They're overspending on PPC ads. You don't want to run more ads for certain keywords because it's way too expensive considering your margin. So like, okay, I'm fine at this area, but there's more room to grow, right? Everyone wants to grow. And you're just trying to figure out like, what can I do to build upon this foundation, right? Because there is demand, like I'm saying, there is more demand. So the top 10% are going to be the ones that dominate on Amazon. So how do you join the top 10%? Real quick, if you need help scaling on Amazon, hit the link in bio to get your free Amazon audit where my team will break down your current numbers and create a plan for you to scale. So how do we break through your current positioning, right? How do we dominate your market? You're not trying to break into the market, you're already in it. It's just how can we double down and improve upon that? First thing is going to be push keyword rankings higher, right? Systematic keyword targeting and rank defense to capture more organic traffic and reduce dependency on paid ads. Remember this one rule, PPC only has one goal. PPC is used for you to get more organic sales by getting your product to the top of search results for your most important keywords. That's the number one thing. If your PPC is not doing that, there is a bottleneck in how you are running your ads. You don't want to be 50% PPC ads, 50% organic. It should be 70% organic, 30% PPC, 80% organic, 20% PPC. That's the ideal situation for you because your PPC is actually doing what it's supposed to do at that point. And how we do that is specifically, we have a bunch of campaigns we set up, right? So a big issue most brands make is they have one universal ACoS, one universal TACoS of I can't be below this. That holds you back because every campaign you set up, you don't want to focus so much on the ACoS level because they all have different goals. For example, if we're trying to rank on a keyword, do a little bit more aggressive bids, we know we need more sales velocity on that term. And overall, you might not have as low of an ACoS, right? The ACoS might be a little bit higher, 50, 60, 70%. And most people will, be scared, like, oh my God, this is way too expensive. I'm wasting so much. But you don't understand, your keyword ranking is going up. And in the long term, you're getting more organic sales. So for one PPC sale, you might get 3 sales in the future from it, okay? For example, we work with one brand that has a 70% ACoS across their account. And they have a 5% TACoS because they're ranked so high on their keywords where they're getting way more organic sales. So Don't have one ACoS that you have around your entire campaigns. Everything should be very individualized, right? If we're targeting competitors listing, know whether you can convert well for or not, right? We don't want to target listings that we don't convert well for, right? If you have your own brand awareness, you have your own search volume, obviously you're gonna have a lower ACoS, right? That's just what it's supposed to be. But this is a good framework to do. You need to pull every single lever on your campaigns and the purpose of it. And once you build a system like this, that's the way it's gonna be easy for you to scale to the next level. This is also area where you want to double down on some other things, like I mentioned, ASIN targeting ads, right? Let's target our competitors. If the top 10% are dominating now, let's see if we can take more of their sales if our product is better. Another thing is sponsored display ads. Some people don't run enough retargeting ads, especially if you're running a lot of PPC, like over 10,000, 15, 20, 30,000. You should run a lot of retargeting ads because not everyone's going to buy a product right when they click it. They might add to cart, they might get busy, they might look at another listing, but you still want to run a lot of retargeting ads because that's warm traffic that you can capture, right? So that's really, really important. If you need help running your Amazon ads, I'll link a video right here. I have a full masterclass on how to run Amazon ads from setting it up, doing product research, optimizing, and double downing on campaigns. It's like 3 hours long. So I'll link it right here, or you can go to my channel and find this video. Now, during this time, we also want to double down on how we can improve our click-through rate and conversion rate. So improving our main image and our infographics to get higher conversions, because this all feeds back into how your PPC campaigns will perform, right? And the brands that win nowadays have a full funnel where everything is directly impacting the performance of the next, right? Very, very important. Also, another thing is launch new variations, right? If you're an established seller right now and the demand is coming more on the market, you know there's more opportunity to increase your lifetime value of each of these customers. So if you have a strong listing, look into, hey, can I launch any other variations? A color variation, different size variations, multi-packs for better discounts so I can get, more LTV from the first time buyer. You want to look into all these things, right? Because we're trying to maximize every single sale. Every single person that clicks onto our listing, we want to maximize and get the most dollars out of them. This is the time to lean in on Amazon. Don't run away from it, especially if you are already doing well, okay? Reinvest into what's working. Double down on top performing SKUs, right? Make sure you maintain your sales velocity. You don't run out of stock. Very, very important, right? Don't spread thin across a bunch of things. For context, I just talked to a guy doing 500K on Amazon, but he's not as profitable as he wants. And he was talking about, oh, my competitors are doing meta ads, TikTok, this and that, and I should do more of that. Well, I'm like, okay, how much are you spending on PPC a month? I'm spending about 170, 200,000. I'm like, okay, if we fix that first, you don't have to worry about all these other channels because you're already established on Amazon. Your listings are very strong. How can we just rerun your PPC campaigns and optimize it further so that, there's a lot more room to grow? If you're spending that much amount on PPC ads already, there's a lot of stuff you can fix and double down on to make you more profitable and regain your positioning. So you always want to focus on what can I focus on Amazon first, okay? And then look into other channels if you have the budget for it, right? Very, very important. So you always want to be sharpening your PPC bids, right? Getting better at running ads, understanding which keywords to target, doing your search term reports constantly, right? Also, another thing is pricing strategies. People very underutilize this. Amazon is like a marketplace, right? So there's gonna be different prices from competitors running different discounts, coupons, right? And I'm not saying you have to lower your price to your competition to get more sales because you're not gonna make any cash, right? But there's a lot of coupon strategies, discount strategies, or like strike through price strategies that you want to implement that can help you get sales in the long run, right? If it's doing certain time periods. So you really want to do stuff like that also, right? So the main point of my video here is pretty straightforward, right? Traffic is going up and new sellers are going down. So if you're someone who's doubling down on it, it's time to double down, right? Traffic going up year over year, market share concentrates for established brands, right? And new sellers are going down. So the money and cash flow are going to go into the top 10%, right? So it's just how can you join that top 10%, right? The opportunity is never going to disappear. Amazon's going to keep on growing, right? So obviously it's harder to break through, right? It's harder to grow. Obviously that's how it's supposed to be. But if you do, you have a positioning that most sellers, most brands don't. You don't have to worry about Shopify, Google, building your own traffic. You already have buyers coming onto your listing. So look into your account right now and determine how much of the market are you actually capturing right now. So go into your search query performance report, for example, and you can look at your main keyword, for example, that has the most search volume, and you can see what percentage you have of that market. And think about it. How can I get this double? How can I get this increased by 50%? What is really needed for this? And then you can understand, okay, I have to increase my PPC budget by this much. I have to send this much more inventory. While my click-through rate and conversion rates stay the same, right? Maybe you have to add new variations. These are all things you want to be looking into because the top brands are doing all this continuously, or they have a team in place like us who does for them, right? Analyzing the keyword ranking, analyzing the conversion rate compared to the market, click-through rate compared to the market, right? Are your margins even healthy considering all Amazon fees? Everything you need to understand. So if you're an Amazon seller, I have tons of videos on this channel about how to grow a brand. I just released this one. If you wanted to grow a brand in 2026, what is needed, you can watch this video and apply it to your own brand. Lastly, with such an opportunity in front of you, what are most people going to do? Nothing. That's just what it's going to happen. Most people are going to look at it, they're cool, I'm okay where I'm at, but they're not going to take advantage of the opportunity. And then months down the line, they'll see these other sellers who took more of their market share. So would you rather do it by yourself and figure out but losing tons of money, or just scale your brand with a proven team like us who scaled countless companies dealing with PPC strategies, flat rankings, low conversion rates? So we built all of this for you, all for a one-time payment to help you increase and become a market leader. So see if you're fit below, link down below in the description to get your free audit. And I'll link a bunch of videos here that you can watch also to grow your brand on Amazon. Peace out.